Just a reminder, guys, transcriptions are now available in the description so you can use them to jump around throughout the video however you desire. And also, guys, if you want to support the channel, you can support us via the Angry Guy Clubhouse, linked in the description of the video. And now let's begin. Through their actions, women are now creating a living hell on earth. They're creating a world where no one wants to live and everyone is constantly up in arms. Watch the end of the video to fully understand the implications of what women have done, how it will continue to further divide society and affect women going into the future. And now let's just go ahead and jump into the first video.
President Biden was sharing details of his proposed $7.2 trillion budget. That includes money for housing, tax breaks for families, and border security. It also includes proposals to lower costs for families and investments in U.S. manufacturing. It would also raise taxes on large corporations and proposes a minimum 25% tax on billionaires. The White House says it would cut the deficit by around $3 trillion over the course of 10 years. That budget also includes almost $5 billion to be put in an emergency fund for border security if the United States was to see any more surges in migrant arrivals. The president's budget has little chance, though, of getting enough support in Congress to pass.
This is the cycle reality we now live in. A $7 trillion, it's over $7 trillion, $7 trillion bill. All right. He wants Congress to pass a $7 trillion bill to do this nonsense. 7.2 trillion. I mean, guys, I've said this before and I said, let's say it again, nothing lasts forever. And we are living in the age of stupidity. This is the stupid, and of course, there are people like, yes, we need to do this. We need to get this done. We need to get these policies passed. I mean, what kind of absolute insanity is this? Absolute insanity. This is reckless spending. This is theft of the American. This is theft from American society. Guys, did you catch that? A 25% tax on billionaires. 25%. Oh, they need to pay their fair share. Guys, 25% is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous because this is how it starts out. Oh, we're taxing the billionaires at 25%. Oh, so now we can work our way towards the average guy. Because that's how it starts. This is how it begins. And of course, a lot of that legislation will just likely end up getting stripped out anyway. But, for example, oh, we're going to tax the billionaires at 25% on various games. But we're going to tax, the average man, we're going to tax you guys at 45%, but you won't even notice it. You won't even notice it because they'll bury it in there in the bill, and then they'll strip out the billionaire thing, but the average guy gets screwed. The world is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous what's happening. We do have a problem with hyper-capitalism, but that has more to do with the corporations. The corporations are not being kept in check. We do not live in a federal. We do not live in a we do not live in a democratic society, nor do we live in a republic. We live in a federal corporation. We live in a federal corporation, and in this federal corporation, we don't have the rights that we like to think that we do. Okay, we are just literally being controlled by the machine.
I think women use shaming tactics on men because, simply put, our ego can't handle their truth. That's it. Our ego can't handle what they're saying because how it impacts us either makes us less valuable in their eyes, and we don't want to accept that. What they're saying is offensive to us because we know that we're not that. So we find ways to poke holes in their thought processes so that we are somehow more attractive to them or more appealing to them, as if arguing someone's perspective is going to change it. Sometimes it does, but when we're talking about attraction, that goes much deeper. So I think, simply put, women shame men for their perspective simply because it does not work in their favor. And so therefore, we diminish, we disparage, and discredit.
And the machine basically tells us what we can do, what we can say, how we can live, where we can live. This is the truth. We are not free. We are not free. Try to get rid of your American citizenship and see all the different roadblocks that will pop up. Like they literally say, oh, You have to pay any taxes and clear anything that you owe the U.S. government before you can get rid of your U.S. citizenship. And even then, it can take a while. They make it different, guys. And it costs, and it's not cheap. Oh no, it actually costs quite a bit of money to get rid of your American citizenship. You would think the process would be free. Nope. This is the reality of it. This is the absolute reality of it. They own you. They own you, and we do not have the right. We do not have, guys. George Carlin basically said it. You look at the Bill of Rights; those are not rights; those are privileges. Read it very carefully. Those are privileges, and they can be taken away at any time. And as we can see in Western society, that's what happens every single day. It happens every single day. If you go to prison, you're a slave. That's what the 14th Amendment allowed. It allowed people to basically be enslaved.
Guys, the way that men are treated today is like if we just go out into society, we are attacked and shamed for just about everything that we say and do. We can't even go to the gym in peace. Women have made society very hostile for men. And like I said, women simply operate as agents of the state.
Problem with just looking. I mean, we have eyes,
Yeah.
You have eyes. You're gonna look around. You're gonna see somebody that you find attractive,
Yeah.
or so I don't.
I mean,
see
there are
what the
different
problem
kinds
is.
of looking too. I
Yeah,
mean, if you're
it
looking like
depends.
this,
Yeah,
then
it depends. If
now
you're being,
that's creepy.
Yeah, because like there's ways where you can look or stare or make somebody feel uncomfortable, but I don't see what the problem is with looking.
A quick look, like
a little glance or look.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm not coming up to you. I'm not approaching you. I'm not gonna like make you feel uncomfortable. But
and if
I
they're
feel
not like all up in your space.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe there's some women that are like very defensive, or maybe it could be that, maybe, but
on the edge, ready
on the edge,
yeah. And sometimes the people are new to the gym, they just don't know these things and maybe want to ask you a question
or they want to copy your workout. Like they're watching you and they're like, okay, maybe I should do that next, or maybe that's something I should do.
And I can kind of see, why some women might be edgy, because what's going on.
You don't
in the
know,
world.
you don't know. What
they're
goes
crazy
on in the world.
men, they're crazy women, they're people with bad intent. So
Being a man today basically means that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. They tell you that they don't want you, and then when you walk away, they tell you, who told you you can go anywhere? This is the reason why I said we are not free. Just because we can leave the prison does not mean that we are still not prisoners. This is a very disgusting and miserable society that we live in as men, especially.
Here are a couple ways that women emasculate men, probably without even realizing it. Number one, telling him he needs to open up about his feelings, but then telling him that his feelings don't matter when he does decide to open up. Comparing him to all of your exes or a specific ex. Asking him for help, but then complaining on how he does said help. Talking shit to him about anything he seems interested in, like football, just because he's not giving you enough of attention. Always complaining that his job is not a real job, or that his salary is never enough money. Making jokes masked as insults. Nagging him around instead of being direct in what you want, or giving him the silent treatment and expecting him to just know. Treating him like his feelings don't matter. The constant jokes around him being the extra child in the household or a man child. This one goes back to insults masked as jokes. Making him feel like everything he does is not good enough. And lastly, my favorite one is always letting him know that whatever he does is never going to make you happy. Okay, bye.
I know everybody has their preferences, but specifically when it comes to short men, it seems like there's a bunch of vitriol online making fun of short men, calling them short kings, which I feel like is totally disrespectful, totally out of pocket. I've dated men who aren't very tall. I've dated men under 6 feet tall, and it's because they were confident. I was attracted to them, and the height really didn't play a factor. If you go online and if you base your life and who you are off of what you see online, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. I've been body shamed. I've had people say that, oh, I look too big to be wearing that, all sorts of things. My natural curly hair, I've had people critique that. But at the end of the day, it's who I am, and I have to stand by that, and I have to be the best version of me as I am, and so do you, and so do you. And I feel like when you have that, it won't be an issue. And be confident about it. I know the guys that I dated who were short, they were. Be confident, be you. That's what I'll always say. Be confident, be you.
and if they're incarcerated, and that's the reality of it. We're not in a free society. Many of you are you act kind of foolish when I tell you be very, very careful when you deal with police officers. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. Don't get into arguments with them. A lot of you don't like hearing this, and it's amazing. It's amazing when some of y'all, you watch these damn channels on YouTube where they do the police audits, and you're like, audit the auditor and all this other nonsense, and you have these guys walking around with cameras, and a police officer asks them for ID, and they're like, I'm not showing you any ID. I'm not leaving, and I'm not showing you any ID. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you are a damn idiot. You really want to escalate this? You really want to go rot in jail? You really want to get into. I mean, and a lot of you, you don't have the fan base that these people have. You don't have the fan base, so you don't. These guys. A lot of these guys are prepared. They're out there looking for trouble. They're looking for trouble. They want a police officer to mess with them so they can sue them into oblivion. You guys, you watch these videos and you think, yeah, I'm going to go out there and flex too. And this is how you end up, being control alt deleted. The body cam certainly turns off. There's no footage of the incident. You're in a coma for 7 weeks. When you wake up, you don't even remember the incident. You don't remember what happened, but the cops say that you instigated it, and you're being charged with 17 felonies, and you're facing a lot of time in prison, and they're offering you a plea deal. It's only going to get, if you take it, it'll only get you 14 years instead of the 37 years that you're facing. Bro, it's best to just play it safe, be polite. If a police officer asks you to leave an establishment, leave. Leave. Don't argue. Do not make a stand at Walmart, bro. Don't try to make a stand at Walmart. Okay? If you want, the most you can do is you can ask the police officer for a copy of the report from the incident. Yes, sir. No, sir. Be very polite. Be the sweetest person in the world. Officer, yes, sir. Oh, no, I understand. No, I understand, sir. You're just doing your job, sir. Listen to me. You don't want to think you're a jerk. Now, don't volunteer information, but be very polite. You don't want an arrest. You're just going to do as you're told. You're going to get out of the situation without getting arrested, and you get a copy of the report. If you can film it, if you can ask, are you guys filming this? Yeah, my body cam is on. Okay, sir. I'm just asking, sir. No problem, sir. Be very, very polite and respectful. And this way, and you don't even need to ask them if they're filming, because that could that could make them worried. All right, you don't want them to think that you're going to sue. You don't want to give them any kind of you don't give them any kind of you don't want to give them any impression that there's something wrong.
And guys, it's very much because of the way that modern women have taken action in society, why we have to be so very apprehensive with the way that we operate, with the way that we respond. It's absolutely insane. And then there's all the shaming that women go on within society. There's all the shaming that women go on within society. It's ridiculous.
Think about it. Girls will say body shaming is a big issue, but then they will bully a guy for being short and act like nothing happened.
Back to what we were saying, guys, you just want to make sure you put yourself in a situation that nothing you say or do can be used against you.
So you wait until you're out of that situation. And then once you're out of the situation, that's when you make your, you've gotten away, you've left, they gave you your trespass or whatever, and then you go and you get a copy of the report and you hire an attorney and you have the attorney review the case, and then the attorney can file a lawsuit for you. Be smart. But a lot of you don't. This is the importance of having a father in your life. This is the importance. A lot of y'all want know your battles, know how to pick and choose your battles. I had this professor, this little black guy, and he used to be loud and all over the place, and he would talk about all kinds of stupid stuff he really shouldn't be talking about with the students. And then the topic of the cops came up. I've mentioned it before. And this loudmouth black girl starts talking about the cops and messing with, because I grew up in New York. And she starts talking about, oh, the cops, they harass us in the subways. And as soon as she mentioned the police officer, He said, "Do not. No, 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 no. You don't argue with the cop. You do not argue with the police. You do not argue with the police. It's yes, sir. No, sir. If they ask you for ID, show them your ID. It's as simple as that. Do not argue with them because they have the ability to delete you, to control, alt, delete you. And do it legally. They have a license. These people literally have a license to control, alt, delete you. So do you know what you're doing? Know what you're about. Okay. If they pull you over and they say, "Can I look in your they'll just say, I need to look in your trunk." "Oh, sir, there's nothing you need to see in there, sir. I do not grant you permission to look in my trunk, sir, but there's nothing you need to look in there, sir. There's nothing you need to see in there, sir. There's nothing in there, sir." And it's very simple. Be very polite, smile, make them feel at ease. Be as compliant as you can possibly. "Sir, I'm going to need you to get out of the car." "Absolutely, sir. 100%, sir. Complete compliance." "Have you been smoking today?" "No, sir, I don't do that." "None of that, sir. None of that, sir." You see, it's very easy. And then once you're out of that situation, you can sue these bastards if they treat you unfairly, if they were targeting you.
And guys, just want to remind you guys to go and check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse, dive into exclusive podcasts, mandatory topics, and more. Free subscribers get full access to chat, video, podcast, and all blog posts. Paid subscribers unlock unlimited access to everything, including exclusive guides and blueprints for building wealth and thriving. Support the channel by becoming a paid subscriber for just $8 per month. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description to subscribe now and claim your free passive income blueprint.
The soft guy era. Have you seen this? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. I'm about to fill you in. From my understanding, this movement is a collective of good dudes who are fed up with being good dudes to scamming ass women. So now they are publicly committing to no longer being willing to be in a relationship with a woman who brings nothing to the table. I'm just saying I've been in that boat, so I feel like I have a place to stand here. Hello, I'm Macy Nicole, host of Toxic Talk. I usually look out for the girlies, but today I'm looking out for the soft guys. I've been telling the girlies about Public Data Check for 2 years. Now, from my own personal experience, the reason I started using Public Data Check to get background reports of people that I was dating is because I ended up in a relationship with a convicted stalker, and had I known that before I got into a relationship with him, I never would have dated him in the first place. I feel like the stalking and the scamming goes hand in hand. My advice has always been, do a background check on somebody. It is not weird to know everything about the person before you go on the date. It's not weird. It's safe. If you're serious about this soft guy era thing, then that means you're taking your personal safety seriously. You want to be sure you're getting into a secure relationship before you get into it so that you don't end up 3 months from now wondering how the heck you ended up in a relationship with little Sally who keeps somehow memorizing your credit card number. Public Data Check. There's a link in my bio. Anonymous background reports. Full spectrum. You need to use it. Keep yourself safe. Oh, and drizzle.
After careful deliberation, I have decided that I officially too will join the soft guy era. You don't get all this handsome dark chocolate for free anymore. I'm handsome, I'm educated, I'm tall, I'm athletic. You don't get all this for free anymore. Unless you're going to pay my bills, buy me a car, take me out to eat, and buy me gifts on the regular, don't even breathe in my direction. I am done tolerating the bare minimum. You can either treat me like a king, or you can get out of here.
Men are becoming way more
sassy.
How?
And way more like they
How?
Because girls are fighting for like equality.
You said you're independent.
I think they're the prize.
We are.
Nobody's chasing you.
You are.
Nobody's.
You are. I'm not gonna lie. All I heard was, I'm broke. It'd be the same girl saying, I don't need a man. I don't need shit from a man. I'm an independent mommy. Like, what do I need a man for? Okay. Move in alignment with that. Why do you keep fucking talking? Right? Now that I'm in my soft guy era, I'm starting to realize you guys actually do need us. We actually are the prize. You guys beg us, when are you going to take me serious? Never. How about that? Never. I'm never taking you serious because you're not paying for anything. You're just broke as shit, and then you want me to take you serious and date you. No. Pick up a bill. Once you pick up a bill, now we can start to talk. Women start complaining, oh, these men don't want commitment. I wonder why, because you're broke. Why would I want to be committed to a broke bitch? What the fuck is that? Some of y'all women are actually super disturbing. How can your whole outfit be from Shein or Fashion Nova and you're asking me for a Chanel bag? Right? You should figure out how you can see if you can work at FedEx to get your fucking money up.
You see, guys, men are done getting called out for toxic masculinity and all the other bullshit. Men are in their era right now. Men are walking away. They're staying home. They're chilling. They're enjoying their lives. They're living their best lives. And that's really it. And it's not going to change because men now have woken up and they realize that they are the prize. By the way, guys, some of you asked for these shorter videos. You were like crying for like a 20-minute video. So I was like, all right, let's put together a shorter video for you guys. Let me know if you guys want more of these shorter videos. You're not going to get a lot of them, but let me know and I'll try to balance it out. But what do you guys think about everything that I've said here in this video? And the fact that broke girls have really helped to ruin society. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.